Good morning, America. Wildfire emergency. The out-of-control Hawk fire burning north of Reno, Nevada, exploding in size, scorching 15,000 acres, forcing nearly 100,000 people to evacuate. This morning, authorities investigating if the inferno was purposely set. The dangerous heat fueling the flames. 52 million Americans on alert for extreme temperatures across the country. Ginger is tracking that, plus the tropical threat.
Escalating trade war between the U.S. and Canada.
You're at war when you get attacked. We got attacked.
President Trump imposing steep tariffs on billions in Canadian goods. And now, how Canada is firing right back.
Growing backlash.
We do not want a data center in this county.
Anger across the country over AI data centers. Now a key election issue with less than 75 days until the midterms. And how some politicians up for re-election are backtracking.
Outage outrage.
Day 11 of no power in Gary, Indiana.
Mounting frustration in Indiana. Thousands of residents in survival mode, still without power, nearly 2 weeks after deadly storms hit.
Subterranean mystery. New questions and concerns after startling video of people popping up out of a Manhattan manhole.
ABC News exclusive with Hayden Panettiere's mother.
I would say to the haters out there, you don't have a right to tell me how I mourn the loss of my second child. That's my domain.
The emotional interview.
What was the truth about your relationship?
On grieving the loss of her daughter, their complicated relationship, plus what she's saying about Hayden's on and off again boyfriend, Brian Hickerson, and how she wants the young star to be remembered.
Dolly Parton's health challenges, what the Queen of Country is saying about going through hard times, and how she's not letting it slow her down.
And we are sliding into a big Monday.
Look at the business in the front, party in the back.
With big box savings. How to make more than 30 dinners from one Costco haul. Plus the huge return. Serena's plan for the U.S. Open. And the World Cup megastar serving up a shocking new look.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Monday. Good morning, America.
And good morning, America. So great to have you with us. A lot to cover on this very busy Monday morning, including a big surprise for an American hero.
Also, ahead of the NFL regular season, news of another high-profile athlete's home burglarized while at training camp. We'll have more on Dallas Cowboys star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb just ahead.
Also this morning, the new mysterious sighting in Manhattan, people climbing out of a manhole right in the heart of the city near a major transportation hub, not only for the city, but for the entire Northeast. Aaron Katursky is standing by with the latest on this.
But we do begin with the out-of-control wildfire, destroying homes and forcing mass evacuations in Nevada. Ginger is tracking the dangerous heat fueling those flames, and millions more on alert across the country. But first, Melissa Adon starts us off near the fire zone in Reno. Melissa, good morning.
Hey, Will, good morning. The community here in northern Reno dealing with yet another wildfire, making it so tough for people. We're on Highway 395. It is closed off. This after this fast-moving wildfire jumped the highway. This morning, a wildfire emergency in Nevada, forcing nearly 100,000 people to evacuate.
Looks like lava.
The Hawk fire growing to over 15,000 acres, burning north of Reno, destroying homes, knocking out power to about 10,000 people.
Life safety first, property second. Everything that we're doing is centered on protecting lives.
With 0% containment, firefighters battling the blaze from the ground and the air. The fire started around noon on Saturday, exploding in size. Flames fueled by dry and windy conditions jumping US 395. Parts of the highway closed in both directions, injuring 6 people, including 3 firefighters. Officials saying the Hawk fire may have been purposely set. An investigation is underway.
Our weather conditions continue to be challenging, hot, dry, windy, and no end in sight anytime soon.
Flames burning close to the city's densely populated foothills. Neighborhoods left looking apocalyptic, buildings reduced to rubble.
Tons and tons of children.
Families filling up shelters, one little girl still wearing her cheerleading uniform.
Fire sweeping over our head, and so we're like, we got to get out of here.
Jason Davis telling us how he made it out.
It kind of just felt like an end of the world scene.
Today, schools in the area are closed, and the governor here enacting a disaster emergency. This as the National Guard are now here, and Deborah, officials are telling us that it's going to take some time for crews to assess the damage and see just how many homes have been burned. Deborah.
Melissa, thank you. Such frightening images there. Let's go now to Ginger, who can bring us the latest on the fire and the extreme heat all across the country.
Yes, and a reminder, too, that nearly 85% of wildfires are started by humans. Most of that is accidental. It's not arson. But a reminder when you see this forecast that today's a day where you be careful where you mow, you careful where you park, all of those things, those little sparks can start fires. So let's go ahead and start with the relative humidity, which it is extremely dry all across the West. And this is the heart of fire season, so that's not necessarily abnormal, but a lot of these states have had really early starts. And yes, it is warm, and extreme heat is still there in Phoenix to Las Vegas, who broke and tied a record yesterday. There have been broken records from Arkansas and Louisiana right through Texas over the weekend. Here are some of the numbers, because a lot of those extreme heat warnings go all the way through the end of the week. Saturday would be the last day. And a real quick check of Mocha, which is the tropical depression still left south of Hawaii. It's well south of where Lala had made their way, but flood watch still up for the Big Island. Another 3 to 6 inches possible width.
All right, Ginger, we appreciate it. Now to the U.S. showdown with Canada over trade. President Trump imposed new tariffs on Canadian goods over the weekend after talks collapsed, while Canada's prime minister now says his country is, quote, at war with the U.S. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott is at the White House with the latest. Rachel, good morning.
Wait, good morning to you. And this is not just a breakdown in talks. This is also testing our relationship with one of our largest trading partners. The U.S. and Canada now going dollar for dollar in an escalating trade war that is sparking fresh concern for small businesses and consumers across the country. This morning, the escalating trade war between the U.S. and Canada after negotiations to reach a deal collapsed in the final hour. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney declaring his country is at war with the U.S.
You're at war when you get attacked. We got attacked.
President Trump has now imposed a 50% tariff on $20 billion of Canadian goods, including hockey sticks, furniture, textiles, building supplies, and alcohol. Trump writing on social media, Canada wants the benefits of being a state without being one. Canada firing right back, vowing to match the tariffs dollar for dollar, accusing the Trump administration of throwing curveballs at the 11th hour of negotiations. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says President Trump cannot be trusted.
President Trump is the type of person that would steal your lunch money the first day. He'd steal the toque off your head the second day, and the third day he'd steal your running shoes.
Starting September 8th, Canada will impose a 50% tariff on U.S. goods, everything from steel and dairy and clothes to plywood, alcohol, and electronics. President Trump's former Vice President Mike Pence warning American families and businesses will bear the brunt.
American businesses and American consumers pay American tariffs. And I think the last thing we need right now, as our economy is getting back on its feet, is a trade war with Canada.
Some small business owners on edge. Michael Howard owns a custom furniture shop in Warren, Michigan.
We're a small family-owned business. We just can't absorb that impact of cost, so we have to pass it down to our customers and essentially give them the decision, like, are you okay with moving forward on this project with this dramatically increased cost of lumber?
The trade war only adding to the economic uncertainty. Oil prices are on the rise amid the ongoing war with Iran, and America's debt hit an unprecedented $40 trillion. The midterm election less than 75 days away, the president now trying to lower costs, suddenly announcing he was suspending tariffs on imported ground beef. But a growing number of Republicans, including Ashley Henson of Iowa, who's running in one of the most competitive Senate races, says that's the wrong move.
We need to focus on affordability, but I think this isn't the way to do that.
So one of the big questions now, can the U.S. and Canada get these talks back on track before those tariffs imposed on U.S. goods go into effect on September 8th, Whit?
Okay, so still possibly some time to work with. And Rachel, on another political headline, what more are you learning about this meeting between House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries and Jared Kushner?
Yes, Whit. Well, sources tell me that leader Jeffries did meet with Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law and outside advisor to President Trump, still very close, involved in foreign policy as well here. I'm told this was a broad conversation, but one of the areas of focus was ways to find possible common ground on issues. And of course, the timing on all of this is very striking. We're less than 75 days away to the midterm elections. Democrats feel pretty good about their chances of retaking the House, which would put Jeffries in line to become the next speaker, Whit.
All right, Rachel Scott at the White House. We appreciate it. Will?
All right, Whit, overseas now to Iran, issuing a new threat to stop the flow of oil out of the Middle East as the U.S. is set to impose new economic sanctions on Iran. Chief international correspondent James Longman is tracking the latest. James, good morning.
Good morning, Will. Economic D-Day. That's what the Trump administration is calling a new set of sanctions against Iran, which it promises will be the toughest in history. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the goal is to, quote, sever every economic lifeline until Tehran stands alone. Now, Iran is warning that if the economic war continues, quote, not a single drop of oil will be exported through the Strait of Hormuz. Despite the rhetoric and the ongoing U.S. blockade on Iranian ports, we are now approaching 6 months since the U.S. and Israel launched their attacks on Iran, and there is no sign of a resolution. Deborah.
All right, James, thank you. Well, now to a key issue back in this country for the midterms, data centers, and internal GOP memo saying support for them could cost Republicans seats, with opposition to AI data centers crossing the aisle. Elizabeth Schultze is in Washington with this story. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Deborah. New polling shows 7 in 10 Americans oppose building AI data centers in their communities. This is now a defining campaign issue in the midterms, defying traditional party lines.
We do not want a data center in this county.
This morning, the bipartisan backlash against the rapid build-out of AI data centers is exploding and shaking up the midterms.
We do not consent!
Our team witnessing the outrage across the country.
We need clarity, and we need it now.
At this town hall in rural Franklin County, Missouri.
This has already been going on for 3 hours, no sign of stopping.
For 13 hours, hundreds of residents protesting 2 proposed data centers, worried they will spike utility bills, drain water resources, and destroy farmland.
You will ruin the very best part of Franklin County if you allow data centers to be built on this land.
Across the U.S., tech companies are pledging hundreds of billions of dollars to build these facilities that keep the internet and AI running, promising jobs and big investments in the communities. But the public outcry is now forcing candidates in key races in the midterms to backtrack. Just last fall, Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott called his state the epicenter of AI development. Now he's putting a freeze on new data centers, telling our Jonathan Carl on This Week the tech companies dug their own grave.
If you're a data center and you want to operate in Texas, you have to first get the approval of those in local communities.
In Pennsylvania, Democratic Governor Josh Shapiro had promoted data center investments just last year. Now he's imposing new restrictions on them.
You don't want these irresponsible, burdensome, reckless AI data centers in your community. And I want you to know, I hear you.
A new memo from the National Republican Senatorial Committee warned that data centers could cost the party a key Senate seat in Ohio. 15 states have now proposed temporary bans on new data center construction. A lot of this opposition coming from grassroots local movements.
Yeah, big issue, definitely something to watch. Elizabeth Schulze, thank you. This morning, growing outrage in Indiana as thousands of people remain without power nearly 2 weeks after severe storms rolled through. Alex Perez is on the ground in Gary, Indiana with more. Alex, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Whit. Yeah, residents are beyond frustrated at this point. As you mentioned, it's been nearly 2 weeks since those violent storms rolled through the area, and there are still homes with downed trees like this one, and still thousands in the dark. This morning, it's been nearly 2 weeks, and thousands of residents in Northwest Indiana are still without power, and frustration is growing.
Day 11 of no power in Gary, Indiana.
Electricity still out in many parts of Gary, Indiana, since deadly storms ripped through the city, downing trees and power lines.
The water was pouring in my basement like Niagara Falls.
Felicity Clark has been stuck in her home without power for the last 13 days. 2 trees fell on her home during the storms and flooded her entire house. Her basement now filled with dangerous mold.
We can't even go down there anymore. Like I'm telling the kids, if you have to go down there, put on a mask. Like, so I'm scared for our health. I set up a GoFundMe because I don't know what else to do. I'm not a survivalist. So like, I don't know. I don't know.
But residents forced into survival mode, grocery shelves empty for days, businesses closed, people lining up to get hot meals.
Right now, citizens are frustrated.
The mayor of Gary, Indiana, Eddie Melton, pressing NIPSCO, the state power company, to work faster, even bringing in help from other states.
It's unacceptable. We've communicated that to our utility company. We've had to create an emergency shelter. We've been providing food for residents.
And getting all of this debris cleaned up is also very important. Many residents have joined a class action lawsuit accusing the utility company of not doing enough to prepare for those violent storms. The utility company says they are working around the clock to get everybody back on, and they anticipate that could be by some point tomorrow. Will?
A dire situation there in Indiana. Alex Perez, thank you. Now to the Manhattan manhole mystery after new video shows multiple people emerging from underground near Penn Station. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katersky is on the case. Aaron, good morning.
And good morning to you, Will. This subterranean mystery has city officials warning of conduct that is both illegal and extremely dangerous. Take a look as multiple people crawl out of a manhole here in New York City, right near Penn Station. You can see 3 people in overalls emerging one by one, each wearing what appears to be a headlamp. Back in June, a group of men with flashlights and waders pried open a manhole cover in Queens, then slipped into the sewer. And 7 guys, some with headlamps and shovels, did the same thing in Brooklyn, dropping in one by one. And then they were climbing out of the sewer, one of them nearly run over by a car. These could be urban scavengers looking for valuables, but the city says sewers can contain numerous hazards, including noxious and potentially deadly gases, unstable surfaces, flooding risks, and confined spaces. Know where you want to be, Will.
All right, Aaron, thank you for that. I know you'll keep us posted. We're going to turn now to another professional athlete's home burglarized. Police say a thief broke a window and entered Dallas Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb's Texas home, making off with $300,000 worth of property while Lamb was at Cowboys training camp in California. That's when the robbery took place last month. No arrests have been made, and the NFL has warned players not to post on social media in real time and to keep valuables out of sight. Deborah.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to turn now to Serena Williams returning to the U.S. Open for the first time since 2022. She's going to play mixed doubles with one of the top men's players in the world, Carlos Alcaraz. ESPN host Malika Andrews is here. Malika, so many Serena fans are paying attention. What's this all going to mean?
Count me with the Serena fans, right, that are paying attention to this. And this is so exciting, right, for everybody, because when I sat down with Serena Williams at Wimbledon of this year, she said that back in 2022, the last time that we saw her at the U.S. Open, she couldn't have imagined that she was going to be back here and playing, and yet here we are. She's going to be playing, like you said, alongside Carlos Alcaraz, and there's going to be some fans that say, hey, well, what about singles? Well, for Serena, I made some calls, and it made more sense for her with where her body is at this point to still get the competitive juices flowing, but maybe have it be a little less taxing on that knee that we saw become an issue in Wimbledon.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, how she's doing with that knee in recovery.
She's doing better, but not playing singles yet.
Okay.
Yet.
But fans also want to know, could we see Serena in some other capacity, perhaps doubles with her sister? What do you think?
Yeah, that I wouldn't rule out at this point. The doubles draw, we see that announced next week, and I would keep an eye on seeing her and Venus's name in that announcement. Fingers crossed there.
Okay.
Would be cool.
And what about the qualifying matches? They're starting this morning.
Yep.
Any other headlines that you're following?
There are a whole bunch. It is tennis time, and I could not be more excited. And let's start with Coco Gauff, who yesterday won in Cincinnati. And remember, the last time she won in Cincinnati, it was 2023. What happened then? She went on to win the U.S. Open. So 2026, she wins Cincinnati. Could we see that history repeat itself? A lot of exciting Americans to keep an eye on.
Cannot wait. Love the U.S. Open. It's great to see you as well, Malika, in studio.
It's always good to be with you guys.
Thanks for joining us. Of course, you can also watch the U.S. Open mixed doubles tournament. It starts tomorrow on ESPN. And coming up right here, Gio Benitez has our Labor Day travel forecast. Gio.
Oh, that's right. We've got a breakdown of the hot destinations for the holiday weekend and why you might want to start thinking about booking your next holiday getaway. We've got the strategies that can help you save when we come back, Dub.
Plus, the latest on Dolly Parton saying she's dealing with hard times.
And Rhiannon Alley is here with her exclusive interview with Hayden Panettiere's mother. Rhiannon.
Yeah, I sat down with Leslie Vogel to talk about her daughter's death. She was emotional. She was angry about her death. She also shared what she says happened between her and Hayden.
Very powerful chat there.
But coming up, new details on Prince Harry and Meghan's move back to the UK.
Plus, get this, how to get more than 30 dinners from one trip to Costco.
And our super surprise for an American hero. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be right back.
I know how much it meant to you.
I ain't gonna lie. I wanted the Hall of Fame real bad. Just plain old jealousy. As old as Cain and Abel.
You know what? I wanted it too.
Welcome back to GMA. That is Hayden Panettiere displaying incredible talent at such a young age in Remember the Titans.
Hard to forget that one. And this morning, we're going to have our exclusive interview with the late star's mom. Rhiannon Alley sat down with her. Good morning, Rhiannon.
Her death is such a tragedy. Good morning, guys. Leslie Vogel said her daughter's death still hasn't fully hit her 1 week after the actress died in South Carolina. At times during our interview, she was angry at Hayden's boyfriend, who she feels is responsible for her death, although authorities have said there is no sign of foul play. And at times she was very emotional, saying she tried to help her daughter so many times, but says Hayden just couldn't fight the demons any longer. How are you doing?
It's a process, and I think it will probably hit me later on. I would say to the haters out there, you don't have a right to tell me how I mourn the loss of my second child. That's my domain.
Leslie Vogel, a mother grieving the loss of her superstar daughter and their complicated relationship, opening up about the moment she got the news that her daughter had died in a South Carolina apartment at just 36 years old. What was that moment like for you?
I was numb. I was just numb. I just couldn't feel anything. I still am not grasping this as real. It just doesn't feel real. My mind tells me it's not at times. You know, it's going to be a process. I need a minute, guys.
Yes, take a minute. According to the police report, Hayden's on and off again boyfriend Brian Hickerson and his brother Zach were the last two people to see Hayden alive. The case is now under investigation. Brian had previously pleaded no contest in 2021 to felony charges he abused Panettiere. According to Leslie, their relationship with Hickerson accelerated in 2018 after Hayden handed over custody of her then 4-year-old daughter Kaya to her ex-fiancé Vladimir Klitschko.
The situation with Hayden and Vlad and their daughter, that was a very difficult period for her. Vlad had taken over custody, for safety. In my opinion, that was the catalyst that she just couldn't keep those demons away. I think she struggled and Brian came into her life. She was vulnerable.
The mother-daughter duo intertwined personally and professionally from the time Hayden first appeared on screen. Born to shine, the actor started appearing in commercials as a baby, moving on to soaps and eventually TV dramas and film.
This is one of my faves. This is from In the Limousine on the way to the premiere of A Bug's Life.
Leslie sharing several photos of Hayden's early life with us. You said people don't know the truth about your and Hayden's relationship. What was the truth about your relationship?
I would say Hayden had a very happy life up until she got Heroes at 16. So here she was, the star of a major TV series. But I would say at about 17, I started seeing her going downhill. As she got older, then it wasn't my voice anymore. I wasn't in charge of her choices. I tried to give her the best advice I could. But again, any young person, teen, they want to be liberated. And I get that. I did get that.
Hayden and her mom weren't speaking in the star's final months. 1 year ago, her mom says she went to stay with Hayden to help her. She says Hayden wanted out of her relationship with Brian.
She knew that Brian was toxic. She knew she had to get him out of her life.
But things took a turn after about 6 weeks. She noticed Hayden pulling away, so she went back to her home in Florida.
What made you leave? What happened between the two of you?
When I got the phone call from her saying, I'm going to be with the person I love. And I said, I just lost it. I lost it. I could not believe that she had gone that far back, that he had been successful in reeling her back in with all of the things he had done to her.
Vogel says Hayden was seeing Hickerson again. She gave Hayden an ultimatum. She says on the advice of her therapist, she told Hayden she couldn't talk to her if Brian was part of her life. And that was the beginning of their estrangement.
I needed it. I needed to have that pocket of time. Of course, I thought it was going to be a pocket of time. I did not, by any stretch of the imagination, think that this was going to happen to Hayden. I don't know why. I just didn't. Maybe I didn't want to.
Hayden released a book about her life, This Is Me, A Reckoning, back in May. In it, she recalls telling her mom at 19 that she didn't want Vogel to manage her career anymore. And Vogel replied, "You owe me." Vogel remembers that moment, but says her version doesn't match Hayden's.
I remember being in her trailer and literally saying nothing. I knew that day would come. It's not that I didn't expect it. But it was very short, very brief conversation, and then she turned and went to set.
Did it hurt to read that in the book?
You know, it just, I know I didn't say what she said I said.
Vogel lost her son Jansen in 2023, just 28. He was Hayden's little brother.
You've now lost 2 children in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Where do you go from here?
Just trying to I think you just have to find that inner strength. I have been knocked down throughout my life, and I'm not complaining because I have the strength to get back up. And that really is, it's not if we fall, it's how we get back up that defines who we are.
What do you want Hayden to be remembered for?
I want Hayden to be remembered for the talented, beautiful, outgoing, intelligent woman she really was. But I also want people to understand that it is my belief that she was suffering. Now, that doesn't make sense, because when you look at a beautiful girl who's got an incredible career, even though it has had its ups and downs, but you look at that big picture and you go, why would you be suffering? People don't understand that you can have on the exterior all of this, but that doesn't mean that what's going on in here matches.
And Leslie Vogel says she has been in contact with Hayden's former partner, Vlad. She calls him an amazing dad to their daughter, Kaya. She says he has given Kaya a wonderful childhood. Hayden was planning to see her daughter soon. She said she sees so much of Hayden in Kaya. She also said Hayden's estate will go to her daughter and that they will plan a celebration of life in the future. But she says that they are just not ready to plan that just yet, because right now her focus is on seeing where this death investigation goes. She is a grieving mother who wants answers.
Yeah. Such heartache.
And regardless of their relationship, you can see how painful this has been for the family.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It was complicated for sure.
Powerful story.
Back now with our Labor Day travel forecast, and transportation correspondent Gio Benitez is here with the holiday hotspots as well as some strategies to save on your booking later this year. Gio, good morning.
Yeah, hey, wait, guys, good morning to you. I'm sorry to say it is the last long weekend of the summer season. I know. It's going to be busy, though. Overnight, AAA releasing the top Labor Day destinations. So take a look at this. Domestically, Seattle takes the #1 spot, followed by Orlando, Boston, Denver, and New York. Internationally, we're looking at Rome, Vancouver, London, Dublin, and Paris. The airlines are prepping for millions of travelers. Of course, United expects to fly 3.4 million passengers between September 3rd and the 8th. That's about 300,000 more than last year. Friday and Monday, those are going to be the busiest days to fly. But of course, the majority of travelers will be hitting the roads, even with the national average more than 90 cents a gallon higher than this time last year. the worst time to hit the road after work Thursday, throughout the day Friday. You should plan on hitting the road before noon on either day. Boston, Seattle, and Washington, they're going to see huge increases in traffic, anywhere from 90% to 121% longer than usual. Wow. That's more than 3 hours. So really plan to hit the road early.
Absolutely.
Strategy.
Of course.
That's right.
So, Gio, what are also some ways to save, not just for Labor Day weekend, but beyond the rest of the year?
Well, listen, there are a few things you can do right now. One of my favorite things to do is set these price alerts. They are free on Google Flights, Expedia, or Kayak. Also, some tips from the Points guy. Start thinking about holiday trips now, because that's where you're going to get the deals. But also look at packages to bundle hotel and airfare. That's an easy way to save too. Traveling midweek, that's going to help a lot. And look at your points and miles for last minute travel, because sometimes airlines open up those unsold tickets at a good price. And of course, head over to Hertz and Booking.com. They've got some deals going on right now, guys.
All right, great.
We always like a bundle.
Yeah.
Right. We love the bundle.
Points and the points.
Love the tips from Gio. Thank you so much. All right, play of the day time. Lori B is here with a real shocking revelation from one of the biggest stars in the world.
You guys, this is serious business. This is the hair that launched 1,000 Viking memes. But Norwegian soccer star Erling Haaland's famous flowing locks, part of what made him a viral sensation along with the Viking row, are flowing no more. Take a look.
This beautiful blonde hair, time to let it go. I was thinking about doing it straight after the World Cup, but we were so busy, so I didn't do it. Season starts now, so it's time to get a fresh start and everything.
Well, and this wasn't just a trim, ladies and gentlemen. Haaland going for a buzz cut, admitting he was nervous to say goodbye to what had become his signature look. The 26-year-old keeping his new do under wraps, quite literally, arriving in a cap ahead of Manchester City's season opener against Bournemouth Sunday, before finally making the shocking reveal. It is shocking, right?
Who is this man?
I know. It's new season, new Haaland. And the shortcut may have brought some good luck. Haaland starting Sunday as Manchester City came from behind to beat Bournemouth 2-1. He's also been showing off the new look on social media, summing it up best by saying, short hair, don't care. So guys, are we into the buzz or do we miss the vein?
It's hard for him to look bad.
I agree.
Okay, come on.
You need the luck. He didn't score a goal, though. He didn't score.
But
And he
they
should have had
did
it.
Wide open chance, and he missed it. So the soccer gods and Viking gods don't like it.
I don't know. I mean, he could do no wrong in
We
my
still
book.
love Haaland.
All right.
He'll get used to the new flow soon.
Yeah.
Now, coming up, speaking of flow, we are sliding into the week with some awesome little leaguers. Go nowhere.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Wildfire emergency. The out-of-control Hawk fire burning north of Reno, Nevada, exploding in size, scorching 15,000 acres, forcing nearly 100,000 people to evacuate. This morning, authorities investigating if the inferno was purposely set, the dangerous heat fueling the flames. 52 million Americans on alert for extreme temperatures across the country.
Dolly Parton's new update, saying she's been battling hard times. What else the Queen of Country is sharing, and how she's not letting her challenges slow her down.
Saving big on meals at big box stores.
5 dinners came out to about $2.70 per serving.
How to make more than 30 dinners from one Costco haul. Plus the items you should skip and the surprising advice about those popular samples.
Your sky full of stars. And the stars of The Dog Stars, Jacob Elordi and Margaret Qualley, telling us about filming the most apocalyptic thriller in Italy.
Josh Brolin, on the other hand, I think he would probably run the apocalypse.
As they say,
Good morning, America.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Monday. Good morning, America.
And a Good Morning America indeed. Coming up here in our second hour on this Monday, the father-son duo hoping to take over the tennis world. Ben Shelton and his dad Brian, who's a former pro himself, now he's Ben's coach. They're gearing up for the U.S. Open. It's just days away here. The two generations are chasing a single dream. How far will Ben be able to go this year? That is ahead.
We are all going to be checking them out. Also, new details on that royal move, that what we're learning today about Prince Harry and Meghan's decision to head back to the UK.
But first, a look at the top stories breaking at 8, starting with the out-of-control wildfire destroying homes and forcing mass evacuations in Nevada. Ginger is tracking the blaze and the dangerous heat fueling those flames. Ginger, good morning. morning once again.
Good morning, Whit. Nearly 100,000 people are waking up outside their home, forced to be evacuated by the Hawk Fire. So this is just one of the fires that has burned around Reno recently, forcing some people to evacuate for the second time. And now we know that there have been homes that have burned. There's damage already. They haven't gotten the complete number there, but the fire is at 0% containment. It started on Saturday. It's being investigated as arson. Unfortunately, extremely dry conditions are staying with us. And so brown and white means really dry, like relative humidity less than 25%. Tomorrow it drops to 20% in Reno, Nevada. And yes, it's warm. Its average high is 91, and that's where they'll go today. But that just dries fuels out because we're not going to see any moisture by any means. Extreme heat is down in the southwest, Phoenix again, Burbank up to Fresno with heat advisories. And this is staying all the way through most of this week. A lot of those extreme heat warnings like Phoenix go through Saturday at least. So the heat is on and the pattern stays very much the same, guys.
A lot happening out there, Ginger. Thank you. We turn now to a breakthrough in technology 25 years after the September 11th attacks that's helping identify a victim. And Aaron Katursky is back with the details. Aaron, this could really bring a lot of closure to some folks.
It sure could, and it has such promise, Will, because 25 years after the September 11th attacks, New York City is still working to formally identify all of the nearly 3,000 people killed at the World Trade Center. This morning, we can tell you about a breakthrough. There is a new identification. And for the first time, the medical examiner's office and the NYPD have identified a 9/11 victim using genetic genealogy, combining DNA testing with family trees. This technology really didn't exist 25 years ago, but now the medical examiner's office says it could be used to get dozens more identifications all these years later. It's part of a solemn pledge the medical examiner's office made a quarter-century ago to identify as many victims as possible. The new one is an adult female. Her family declined to come forward. 40% of 9/11 victims, nearly 1,100 people, have still not been formally identified. Wow. A quarter century later, and the medical examiner's office says it will never stop trying.
What a statistic.
Yeah.
Wow. And the power of technology.
Yeah. Truly.
Absolutely. Aaron, thank you. Well, now to the growing anticipation for Prince Harry and Meghan's move back to the UK. Lama Hassan is in London with the latest. Good morning, Lama.
Yeah, good morning to you, Deb. We're learning a few more details about the big move. A source close to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex telling ABC News that they haven't decided exactly how long they'll stay for, only that it would be for an extended period of time. So it sounds like they're planning to see how things go. We now know a number of things fell into place to enable the move, among them that the kids were accepted into the school that they wanted and the possibility that the Duchess would get back into acting. No news yet on when they will arrive. Meanwhile, the rest of the royals are all up in Scotland at the King's private estate Balmoral. We saw the King and Queen alongside Prince William and family heading to church over the weekend. No official reaction from any of them on the big move. The silence from William particularly telling. The relationship between the brothers very strained. And one big question we still don't know the answer to: what do they plan to do about security? Remember, Harry has said that he didn't think it was safe to bring his family here without police protection. And the Times newspaper reported over the weekend that his request is now under review, but this will be difficult to navigate with many British taxpayers unhappy about potentially footing the bill. Guys.
A lot of feelings about this story for sure. Lama, thank you for that. Coming up in our GMA morning menu, the latest on Dolly Parton's health battle, what the Queen of Country is saying about going through, quote, hard times.
Also ahead, our new series, Money Maxing, the story we can't stop talking about at the table here. Costco, the Costco haul with more than 30 meals on a one trip to the store.
Yeah, we're all ready for that. Plus, our super surprise for an American hero, how he followed in the footsteps of his father and the legacy he's carrying on. You don't want to miss that story. And Lori Bergamato here with ABC's Secret Savings. What do you have for us this morning, Lori?
Well, we have tons. We have upgrades for your kitchen and home, everything from chef's knives to a deep foot massager to bedding and so much more, starting at just $15. And that is all coming up right here on GMA.
We watched it on TV, and it's like, that's our son, and they killed him.
Tomorrow on Good Morning America.
You call Alex your hero.
The family of Alex Preddy, the intensive care nurse killed in Minnesota by federal immigration officers.
It has been 7 months. Why do you want to speak now?
Now, their first television interview.
What did he do to deserve to be murdered? To left on the ground dead? My child. What did he do?
Tomorrow on Good Morning America.
And we've got that exclusive interview for you tomorrow morning right here.
We'll be looking forward to that. But now we turn to our GMA cover story, Dolly Parton's health battle, after she canceled a recent appearance at Dollywood.
This morning, Dolly Parton sharing a new health update while remaining busier than ever before. The 80-year-old country music mogul telling People that she has battled hard times with her health, admitting she put her own wellness aside when caring for her now late husband, Carl Thomas Dean. The 10-time Grammy winner saying while she's faced health challenges before, including in the 1980s where she was, quote, down for several months with female issues, it's a little different this time. Quote, we live in a 24/7 world with social media. Everything gets magnified in ways it wasn't years ago. I used to joke that I was the queen of the tabloids, but now I guess I can say I'm the queen of social media AI. Seriously though, even though I'm still healing, I'm still working. This update comes a week after she was unable to attend the opening of her newest thrill coaster, Night Flight Expedition, at Dollywood, pointing to bouts of dizziness and dehydration.
And so my national doctor has kind of clipped my wings, saying, you ain't traveling this week. So I guess if your doctor tells you you ain't traveling this week, you ain't traveling this week.
Dolly's last public appearance was in June.
Well, how's everybody doing today out in that hot, boiling sun?
Surprising fans at the opening of her new truck stop. But despite Dolly's road to healing,
my coat of many colors.
She's still wearing a coat of many projects, from her Songteller Hotel opening this September to a musical headed to Broadway and the Life of Many Colors Museum in Music City.
Parton says that she is working on a new way to give fans a musical experience while she tends to her health, and that she and her team are in the early stages of exploring Avatar performances. And I think I speak for all of us saying, take the time you need, Dolly.
Exactly.
Right? Get better.
But she never slows down.
No, certainly not.
All right, Ginger, thanks. Well, now to our new series on money maxing. We have all been waiting for this one, right? We're going to tell you how you can start saving. And starting at Costco, one mom sharing her secrets on how to make the most out of your trips to the big box store. Elizabeth Schultze is back with all of that. Elizabeth, give us the scoop.
Right, and Deborah, we all want to hear this, right? We know grocery prices, they're up 25% in the past 5 years. So we spoke with this mom of 4 who said that she loves finding the deals at Costco, but she'd often end up making a second trip to another store. Well, now she is sharing her tips for how to make 30 meals in one stop for under $3 a person.
Okay, moms, if getting dinner on the table feels harder than it should, this week is for you.
For Brittany Hanks, a cookbook author and content creator from North Carolina, the secret to feeding her family of 6 on a budget is a one-stop shop at Costco.
One of their favorite meals that I make from Costco is cheeseburger sliders. It's just a whole huge package of Hawaiian rolls, and we put ground beef and cheese on it, and then they just kind of pull apart these little cheeseburger sliders.
She says big box stores are a great place to save big money on meals.
These 5 dinners came out to about $2.70 per serving.
As long as you know where to look and how to store your haul.
Things like eggs and milk and cheese and pasta and bread and tortillas. Extra quantities of things can be frozen and preserved to use later. So you just want to make sure you do that right at the beginning.
She says Costco's famous rotisserie chicken is a cornerstone of any affordable family meal plan. But the key is to keep it from feeling boring.
I'm making some chicken tacos, and then the next day I'm having some like chicken noodle soup, and then the third day I'm doing a barbecue chicken salad.
And there are a few items to skip if you want to save money.
You want to avoid the pre-made meals, although they are delicious.
One exception, the food court.
Their pizza, their hot dog and a drink deal, like you cannot beat those price-wise.
One other tip from Brittany, as tempting as it is, she says you do want to avoid the samples. I know it's not popular, but it is those impulse purchases, she says, that can add up very quickly. You are much better off sticking to the list, guys.
Well, you don't have to buy them.
Yeah,
right.
just eat the sample.
Sample and keep walking.
You got to eat it and keep walking.
Yeah.
Don't buy it.
You got to have the discipline.
Eat and go.
The discipline. All right, Elizabeth, thank you. We were looking forward to that story all morning. And we're looking forward to the U.S. Open. It's only a week away from the start of the main draw. And world number 6 Ben Shelton is hoping to become the first American man to win a major in over a quarter century. His coach is also his dad, Brian. He's a former pro himself. And they spoke to GMA ahead of this year's tournament, and Faith Abube has their story. Hi, Faith.
Hi there, Will. Good morning to you. Being coached by a father can be a challenge on its own, right? Think about all the layers of relationship you have to navigate, separating coach from dad on the court while also protecting that bond at home. Well, this one is one of those duos that have figured out how to do it remarkably well, making that family affair even more compelling for tennis fans.
There were the Williams sisters, coached by Dad Richard, Deion Sanders calling plays for son Shador, and more recently, the Knicks' Jalen Brunson, winning it all alongside Dad and Coach Rick.
Knick fans, this is not a dream!
Now get ready for another winning kin combo.
Wow, you are joking.
Ben and Brian Shelton, the father-son twosome, taking over the tennis world.
So nice that it's a family affair.
Ben, currently number 6 in the world, is the highest-ranked American on the men's tour, with his dad and coach Brian by his side.
Who was your inspiration to play this kind of grass court tennis?
Definitely my dad. I respect him as a coach. He was a great player as well. At the same time, I respect him as my dad, and he respects me as both player and son also.
Dad Brian competed as a pro for nearly a decade.
What a shot by Shelton.
Their playing styles, fire and ice. The elder Shelton was calm and steady, and his 23-year-old son, explosive. The dynamic duo first finding big success at Florida, where Ben clinched a national championship for his head coach dad.
Wow! You could not write a script any better.
And their bond only appears to get stronger as the stage gets bigger.
Shelton loves slams.
He made the 4th round 30 years ago.
We're back, big dog.
Ben's behind-the-scenes digital docu-series, The Long Game, shows glimpses of the duo's dynamic, both on the court.
Not swinging at the ball, but just you're trying to bunt the ball to someone who's 4 feet in front of you.
And off the court.
Look at that guy. Man, he's got some quads on him.
Man, he's skinny, isn't he?
2 generations chasing a single dream.
I think what's most important as a dad and with my wife is to see our kids, grow up and become great people. And so we're just really proud of the man that he is, more than the player.
To be able to share so many special moments together out on tour has been amazing for both of us.
And it continues. Next stop for the duo, the U.S. Open, which begins on Sunday, but qualifying begins today. And fans are really excited about Shelton's prospects because if he does pull it off, it would be the first time since 2003, 23 years ago, an American man won a major. And that was, of course, Andy Roddick. So we are hoping that he pulls it off.
Yeah, it's been a long, long time coming for the American men. Faith, thank you for that. And you can watch the U.S. Open qualifying matches on ESPN2 starting at 11 a.m. Eastern today.
Next month will mark 25 years since September 11th. And as we remember and commemorate the lives lost that morning, we want to share the incredible story of one man's call to service after that fateful day. Take a look. For Ron Buca Jr., September 11th, 2001, not only changed the course of his life, but also its purpose. That morning, New York City firefighter and Ron's father, Ron Buca Sr., responded to the crash at the Twin Towers. He never made it home. Ron was just 20 at the time. But that unimaginable grief spurred a new beginning. Ron had planned to work in finance, but his father's sacrifice inspired a new path. He enlisted in the Army. Zach West served with Ron Jr. Both men are Tillman scholars.
One of the things I admire about Ron is that he has turned that grief into a celebration of his father's legacy, having it be a personal tragedy as well as a national tragedy, but then taking that as a reason to go enlist himself and serve in the way that his dad served and carry on that legacy is really inspiring, and I think says a lot about him.
Ron would eventually become a Green Beret like his dad.
His dad, when he passed, his story wasn't over yet. He had more years of service in him, and I think Ron saw that and wanted to carry that on himself.
Ron Jr., now 45 years old, is a dad and proud service member transitioning to a career in environmental protection, making sure his father's story lives on.
He's done so much, but he's always reserved a part of his life for helping others. And I think that's a really special celebration of his dad's legacy.
And we are grateful to have Ron here in the studio with us this morning. Ron, thank you so much for your service. It's great to have you here. Just want to ask you, we heard part of your story there, but from your perspective, tell us more about your father's legacy and why it was so important for you to follow in his footsteps.
Sure. I mean, I was fortunate enough to be influenced by an ordinary man who lived an extraordinary life. And you know, he lived a life of kindness, courage, and a belief in something greater than himself. And, you know, that was evident on the day on 9/11 when he responded to the 78th floor of the South Tower with Chief Oriole Palmer. And, you know, they were stretching the line, putting out the fire and treating the wounded when the building collapsed. And so, you know, that kind of resonated with me. And as I was looking through the rubble for him on 9/11, you know, it kind of stood out in my mind that I wanted to serve. And, you know, Pat Tillman, seeing him raise his hand and volunteer to serve as well, really was a deciding factor for me to say, okay, if this guy's ready to put it all on the line and serve, I should as well.
And so you did, and here we are nearly 25 years later since the 9/11 attacks. How do you hope that people will reflect on this somber anniversary?
Sure. I mean, yeah, I think what came out of kind of the tragedy that I lived through was seeing the goodness in people in the days that followed. And again, that's what, you know, my father emulated in this life of courage, kindness, and this belief contributing to a greater good. And, you know, I hope we reflect back on that and how we were in the months following and how everybody was more engaged in their community and helping each other. And I hope we take that with us to, you know, try and do that every day in our daily lives. Really, we owe it to them. We owe it to my father. We owe it to Pat. We owe it to all those who gave their life on 9/11, serving in the wars with the military, and you know, are still suffering from 9/11 related illnesses to contribute to this greater good.
I love that message. We are stronger together, and we can commemorate that on this anniversary. I do want to celebrate you, celebrate your father, and so does the NFL. So we do have a little surprise for you. We know that you're a big fan of the New York Football Giants here, and we want you to take a look at the screen right there.
Hey Ron, it's Jackson Dart, quarterback for the New York Giants. I know that you're a Giants super fan, so I'm thrilled to announce and let you know that on behalf of the NFL and for recognition of your service and your family's sacrifice, you're going to Super Bowl 61.
It's amazing.
Did you catch that?
Yeah,
Super Bowl 61.
Hopefully with the Giants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here you go. These are the
them.
official tickets
Wow.
right there. You just show up to the stadium carrying those things. They'll let you right in. How does it feel to go to the game?
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm honored. You know, I served just in honor of my dad's legacy and to be recognized for that.
Well, again, we want to celebrate you, celebrate your dad. You're going to the big game. We're all looking forward to Super Bowl 61 next year, right here on ABC as well. Thanks once again, Ron. Really appreciate you coming in. Coming up here, ABC Secret Savings for your home and kitchen with everything more than 20% off. Stay with us.
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City.
And we are back now with ABC Secret Savings, and Lori B is back with what you need to level up your kitchen and home with everything more than 20% off, which we love already.
We love that, right? Music to our ears. Okay, so we're going to kick things off with the iVac here. And Deb was just saying to me, what is this? Right?
Yeah,
Because it looks
kind
sort
of cool.
Futuristic and cool. So this vacuums the floor and purifies the air at the same time. I'm going to explain how it works. It is a touchless vacuum. Basically, you're going to sweep up any of that dirt, those crumbs, pet hair, whatever it is. You're going to put it in the eye line of the iVac here, and it uses an infrared sensor and it just sucks all that debris right up.
So you don't have to get there and sweep it up
You don't have
yourself.
to go down. So if you have arthritis or if you don't want to do that,
Yeah.
you know, we hear from a lot of small business owners if they own like a grooming business or a pet salon or a hair salon.
Yeah.
This is like, you have to have it. It's a no-brainer. This particular model also is an air purifier. So it's going to filter all that dust, those particles, those odors out. This is an incredible thing to have. You can save 25% off plus free shipping.
We like that. And it looks cool in the house.
And it does. It's very cool. Okay, another thing that looks cool in your kitchen, these professional grade knives. So this is from Matsatu. These are handcrafted knives. They will get the job done. So that one there, I know, they're very sharp, so please be careful. Deb took a step back.
I did.
She picked it up and then stepped back.
Kind of aggressive looking.
Yeah, it's a classic kitchen knife. It's great for chopping, slicing, mincing. That's the most accessible entry-level knife in their lineup. We have up here in the front, that's the chef's knife that offers the ultimate precision.
Yeah.
And then this one is the cleaver that has that wide blade design. That's going to tackle that heavy duty cutting that you need in the kitchen. You can save more than 55% off. And we always need good, sharp knives in the kitchen, right?
And a good cover too to put it inside.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay, this is more in my wheelhouse.
Yes.
I love this, nice and soft.
Cozy.
Exactly, from Linens and Hutch. We're going to start here. We've got the deep pocket sheets. They're really durable, but they're wrinkle resistant, which I love. I hate taking my sheets out and they're all wrinkly. They're double brushed, so that ultra soft, cozy feel. We've got coverlets and quilted blankets there, the perfect lightweight layer, and then these up here, the fan favorite knit throw. It's about to be that season, my favorite season, fall. So you can save 70% off from Linens and Hutch. Great, beautiful
this
color.
makes me, ready to just sort of cozy up in bed.
Exactly. This one's really cool as well, Deb. So this is, you can empower yourself with health data at home. This is from Renfo. It's a smart scale that is not just about weight. So this analyzes more than 50 body metrics. That includes segmental muscle and fat analysis. You know, a lot of people are losing weight, but they don't want to lose muscle
mass.
Exactly, and muscle mass is so important as you age. We're always talking about it here, right? And so this one includes that muscle and fat analysis and so much more. You can save 25% plus free shipping.
We love free shipping.
And then, of course, we have to get to our Mateo here. So Mateo is part of our GMA props team.
You got a good one this morning.
He got a good gig this morning. So he is always on his feet here. And so this shiatsu heated foot massager delivers a spa quality foot massage at home. I can see Whit Johnson in my eyeline looking at it. He's like, why don't I get that job? This is great for kneading, compression, rolling, vibrating on your feet. It relieves pain from conditions like plantar fasciitis, neuropathy, muscle tension, has 5 different pressure settings, built-in timer, washable foot liner.
I don't think you're going to get out of the chair.
I don't want to.
I mean, I didn't even need to talk. We could just look at Mateo's face. He's so relaxed. You can save 45% plus free shipping here.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Such great items. Lori, always great. And Mateo, I'm glad to see you're having a good time this morning.
Thank you.
Great brands. You can shop for these deals and 20 additional ones from our ABC Secret Savings Special for August right now by scanning the QR code on the screen. Go to abcsecretsavings.com.
Now, and the new Ridley Scott movie, The Dog Stars, is about to hit theaters. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world where the people who survived are looking for connection while they try to stay alive. James Longman sat down with 2 of its stars. Hey, James.
Hi, Whit. Yeah, Jacob Elordi and Margaret Qualley team up in Dog Stars to survive in that post-apocalyptic world ravaged by a flu pandemic. And if that sounds uncomfortably possible, it's meant to be. Ridley Scott's new movie is set in a not-too-distant future where life has become a fight for survival. And I sat down with Jacob and Margaret's own little star, her dog, Smokey.
Something better than this.
The dream.
Jacob Elordi and Margaret Qualley don't think they'd survive an apocalypse. Who of the 2 of you would survive better in an apocalypse?
Hi, Jacob.
I think we'd both be toast pretty quickly.
Big guy, big strong guy.
Couple of gangly guys just running around the end of the world.
I'd try though. Like, I want to live. I'd definitely try. I would do my damnedest.
Josh Brolin, on the other hand, I think he would probably run the apocalypse.
In the new Ridley Scott apocalypse thriller, The Dog Stars, the cast is fighting for their survival in a not-too-distant future.
I don't like the feeling of wondering whether or not you're going to come back.
I think shooting with Ridley is a pioneer of modern cinema. He was literally at the beginning of it, you know, and he's engineered so much of what we do today in movies. So I think for us both to be sort of so young and have the opportunity to work with someone who has worked through those decades of movies is an immense privilege and something that I definitely didn't take for granted going into the film. And it was the key reason for making the movie. For me, it wasn't the script or the story. It was that Ridley wanted to make it.
The film is set in the sweeping rural beauty of Colorado, but they actually filmed it in Italy.
Such a beautiful location, like huge mountains and big wide open spaces. And
so we worked through all these tiny provinces, and we'd stay in these tiny little hotels together and sort of convene on the weekends, and we would sit and work on the script and play with things, because Ridley was so open to us having ideas. So the whole thing was it was an incredible experience, and I think one that won't be repeated very often. It's not often that films get made like that.
And Jacob's best friend, the real star of Dog Stars.
And you had an Italian dog?
Yeah, Raksha. Yeah, we had a team of Italian dogs. The dog training team were incredible, and their dogs were amazing.
But Margaret has a real-life furry friend.
How did Raksha and Smokey get on?
they didn't interact.
They were not near each other. Yeah.
Smokey's not great with, he likes a really subservient dog. He's an alpha.
He doesn't look like an alpha.
But he is.
But he is. If you could only have 3 things with you in the apocalypse, what would they be?
I'm saying Smokey, my sister, and music. There you go.
That's all I need, man.
Do you have 3?
I would, just one. I would have a time machine.
Okay.
So I could go back to before there was an apocalypse.
A fictional future, but a very real message.
So one last question. If you wanted the audience to take one thing from this movie, what would it be?
Keep trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, like hope and belief in human goodness.
These two clearly had a lot of fun making this movie. They also got to sit down with director Ridley Scott and stars Josh Brolin and Guy Pearce, and we'll have that for you tomorrow, and the Dog Stars hits theatres Friday.
All right, looking forward to that. Thank you, James. Ginger, over to you.
All right, Wick, get your 5, 6, 7, 8 ready, because we've got some new Dancing with the Stars news. We have a special announcement from a very special pro making their return to the ballroom.
I'm back! Some of you guys guessed it. Yes, I am here with a special announcement to finally confirm I'm back on Dancing with the Stars, baby. I'm going to be competing for that Len Goodman Mirabel Trophy. I can't wait to be back in the ballroom with my dancing family, and mostly it feels so good to be coming home. I'll see you all soon.
All bias intended, she's one of my favorites. Huge welcome back to Sharna. This will be her 15th season competing on the show after winning that Mirabel Trophy with Bobby Bones in 2018 during season 27. It has been 5 full years since she has competed on the dance floor, and it seems like she is ready for that comeback. Make sure to tune in on September 2nd for our season 35 Dancing with the Stars cast reveal, and Dancing with the Stars season 35 debuts with a 2-night premiere on Tuesday and Wednesday, September 15th and 16th on ABC and Disney+, streaming the next day on Hulu. Now to some ideas for family fun this fall and beyond. Our parent company Disney announcing some great deals from their parks and cruises.
So I make this wish to have something more for us than this.
For those fans wishing for some Disney deals, well, consider those wishes granted. From the parks to the sea, the discount options for the upcoming fall season are seemingly endless.
Let's go kick some honey buns!
Let's take Walt Disney World. Disney Plus subscribers there have the option to get free park hopper benefits if enrolled in the Disney Plus Perks program, not to mention up to 25% off rooms.
Fish are friends, not food.
And speaking of food, purchasing a dining plan for older guests? Then you'll enjoy complimentary dining plans for those little guys, 3 to 9 years old.
Shut up!
At Disneyland, the 1-day, 1-park ticket with prices as low as $104 on select September dates, a surefire winner.
You're just un poco loco.
Especially with spooky season here at last. Dia de los Muertos celebrations already in full bloom on Disneyland's Plaza de la Familia. And we can't forget about those oceanic deals. On select Disney Cruise Line voyages beginning in October, families can save up to $1,500 from their total fare. Some nice offers for families. For more information, you can head to the links on your screen. Deborah?
All right, Ginger, thanks. Well, in less than 2 weeks, we're going to be commemorating 25 years since the 9/11 attacks. It's always a somber day, but one organization is hoping to turn it into a day of doing good, trying to get Americans to pledge 1 million good deeds by September 11th. And here's how you can get involved.
My name's Pete Davidson. Some of you may or may not know, my dad, Scott Davidson, passed away on 9/11. He was a firefighter for Ladder 118, Engine 205 in Brooklyn Heights. My dad loved being a fireman and he loved saving people, as he did on that day. 9/11 is usually a tough day, but this organization, 9/11 Day, does something cool where you do a good deed for someone and you pass it along. You try to make the day a little bit lighter. So on this 9/11 and all the days leading up to this 9/11, make your pledge right here. Let's show up for each other. I think my dad would have loved that. Together, let's unite for good. All right.
All righty, welcome back. The U.S. Open starts this morning. Qualifying matches begin, and for a lot of fans, it's not just about the tennis, it's also about the food, because every year the tournament's Food Village features some of the country's best chefs, and we have one of them right here this morning, Chef Robbie Felice from Pasta Ramen. Robbie, good morning. We've got our pals over at the tasting table already. We're going to get into
shoveling it in.
We're going to get into the food in just a second. But first, we want to talk about this Food Village, because the U.S. Open, as much as it's about the tennis, people love going for the food, and this is your second year having a pop-up in that whole area. How would you describe the scene?
Unbelievable. It is such a world-renowned event. You know, the masses of people that come, the types of people that come. Yesterday was Kids Day, so seeing all the families run around, super, super special.
Yeah, I'll be out there tomorrow for the Roger Federer big event tomorrow night. But before we get to all that, let's get cooking here, because I'm jealous of my friends who are already chowing down.
Definitely.
What are we doing? What's happening?
This is one of our new dishes that we're serving at Food Village. So last year we did a shrimp scampi ramen, and I mean, we sold more of that than nearly anything else. Okay. So we wanted to put a second ramen on the menu this year. We're doing like a play on almost like if you could think like chicken piccata meets chicken teriyaki.
I can think that,
so
yeah.
So that's kind of what we're going for here. So we're just frying up, we're basically gonna bread a nice piece of chicken. It's like half Italian, half Japanese. So we do a panko breadcrumb.
Nice.
We mix that with an Italian breadcrumb, a little karage, and we're just gonna fry that up really nice. You got one that's a little fried up nice perfect. Here. It's like beautiful, yep. And then we're gonna slide over here. We're gonna cook our ramen. You gotta cook the ramen.
I'm gonna cook the ramen. All right, what am I gonna do?
Pop that
just right into the boiling water here. There you go.
No glass, just wow.
Yeah, no glass.
You got it.
Figured that one out.
You're good. We're gonna give this a little stir.
All right. And then once they're cooked,
what's
happening?
We're going into this magic sauce, we call it. So again, think chicken piccata meets teriyaki.
Okay.
So it's like a lemon butter with teriyaki sauce.
Look how good you are at the movement. Look at that flip. How good was that? Do that. Can you do that again? That's awesome.
You're gonna do it.
No, I gotta.
Oh,
I'm wearing the suit, the whole thing. It's, I'm just gonna watch the pro do it.
Cool. So now we're gonna take this over here.
Yep.
We're gonna put this right in our bowl here.
Yep. And then, all right, so there's the ramen, and then you slice up your chicken.
You got to do that. You didn't toss the ramen.
I didn't. You're right. Okay.
You got to give them to be nice and thin. All right.
All right. What do you want me to touch with my hand?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
All right. Nice and thin. All right.
Yeah. There we go. While you're doing that, I'm gonna finish this off here.
Okay.
You're natural.
What are you putting? Edamame?
A little edamame, little pickled bamboo shoots here. You're gonna slide that on the side right there. Yeah.
Which side?
Yeah.
I want to plate it nicely.
Perfect. Look at you. You're natural.
All right.
Natural.
God, that looks good.
Looking natural.
All right.
Yep.
And then you're putting garnishes and things.
Yep. So we're just kind of decking that. We want to hide the ramen.
Hide the ramen. Oh yeah, you
I don't want people to see that
you can't even tell there's ramen. So what a nice surprise.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we get a review from the tasting table?
It's fantastic.
I love
the
it.
combination's perfect.
And it's Italian food, so you got to finish Italian food.
Of course, little bada bing.
Right?
There you go.
Little parsley.
All right.
That's down here.
What
There you
else
go.
can what else can
So
folks
good.
expect from the pasta ramen pop-up?
So we have 2 different ramens on, shrimp scampi, chicken teriyaki. We're doing a spicy tuna crispy rice, a little different.
Like what
my favorite thing at the US Open is, you go to all these booths and everyone has a burger, a chicken sandwich, or whatever it is. So it's really fun to be able to serve ramen, spicy crispy tuna rice. It's just different,
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what we want to do.
Where can people find you?
In the Food Village.
In the Food Village.
At the US Open.
All right, amazing. Any final thoughts from the group over there?
I'll bring my kids this week. This is their favorite, like a
You're going to
ramen.
bring your kids and you're going to bring them right to pasta ramen.
Straight
get
over.
loaded up.
Right to me. Come see us.
My coworkers are judging me over here because I was
Because
just
you're
plowing
whooping
through
it
the
down.
bowl.
Yeah.
Empty bowl here, my
He
friend.
did finish
I'm about
it.
to
We love that.
I'm about to plow through as well in the commercial
I'm
break.
in
Robbie
business
Felice,
when I
thank
come
you
to
so
this.
much.
Thank you so much for having me.
You can get these recipes on GoodMorningAmerica.com, and you can watch the U.S. Open qualifying matches on ESPN2. They start at 11 a.m. Eastern today.
Those are so good. Our thanks to Robbie Felice, and thank you for watching.
Good seeing
Finally
you.
got to eat.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.